Juicy, aromatic herb, easily pulled apart, tender roasted pork with that delicious, crunchy crackling. That is all that you want in a good, unforgettable roast pork. And this is how we are gonna make it. This recipe takes 3 days from preparation to reach the dinner table. Here I have about 1.5 kg of pork belly. Sharpen our knife and make diamond cuts through the skin and fat of the pork. This will allow for fats to be rendered in the oven easily. For juicy pork, it is important to brine our pork overnight. In goes our pork and fill the container with brine solution. To make the brine solution, we stir in 1 tablespoon of salt for every cup of water. Do be careful not to let the brine solution reach to the level of the skin or the fat under the skin of the pork. We send the pork in brine solution to the fridge, and we will want for the skin to be dehydrated in the fridge overnight. On the second day, the pork skin has had some time to dry out in the fridge, and the pork flesh is brine. We throw the brine water away and pat dry the pork. We will heat the pork with some herby notes. For the herbs, we blend up a lemongrass, 7 kaffir leaves, and 12 garlic, and mix it up with 2 tablespoons of salt. Lather the underside of the pork with that beautiful, delicious herby marinade. Arrange the pork skin side up and return the pork to the fridge overnight to allow the skin to dry out further. Third day is cook day, the moment we have been waiting for. I cook my roast pork at the high rack throughout the whole cooking process. For stage 1 of cooking, our goal is to continue to dry out the skin of the pork. Preheat the oven to 220 degrees Celsius. Here we cook the pork for 40 minutes. Here I do not want to burn the skin of the roast pork, so 220 degrees Celsius is a good temperature to render the fat and dry out the pork skin further in the oven. Here you see that the skin has started to blister after 40 minutes at 220 degrees Celsius. For stage 2 of roasting, we want to achieve that beautiful pork crackling. Now we blast the oven to 250 degrees Celsius at about 20 minutes to get that beautiful pork crackling. This stage is completed once you notice that every part of the skin has formed a nice, crusty, puffy raised blister on the skin of the pork. This is the stage where our pork crackling is established. For the third stage of cooking, the main aim is to quickly tenderize the meat by breaking down the fats and connective tissues in the meat without burning the crackling. Here we turn the oven down to 230 degrees to cook the meat for a further 20 minutes. Now we reach stage 4 of cooking. We turn the oven down to 160 degrees at 30 minutes. The main aim is to further cook and tenderize the meat without drying out the meat with high temperature. And viola, your juicy, aromatic herb, easily pulled apart, tender roast pork with that delicious, crunchy crackling is done. Have a memorable and unforgettable meal with this recipe. Till next time, bon appetit!